Make it louder in here. It's too calm.
This is why you should never go to a psych ward.
Nothing works here. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I hate this place. I've been here for 7 years. Nothing works here.
The first thing I'd like to point out that just because he's not responding doesn't mean he doesn't hear. We don't know if he's an actor or not. I don't know. If he is being honest, then he's one of the less than 1% of people, probably less than 0.05% of people who are mentally ill or who have some kind of brain damage that causes them to behave a certain way, probably from drugs or chemicals.
The medications don't work.
Can you hear me at all?
Nothing works here. Nothing works here.
Can you tell us anything else that might be helpful to you?
I hate this place.
Is he just repeating?
Now look at what's going on here. They're reading through his journal. I don't know if he gave them permission or not, but I know for sure, and I've been a victim of this myself, of them going through your stuff without getting permission.
The same thing over and over again?
Of course they're going to say because they're quote-unquote held people. So not only are you detained without a trial for over 2 days, they go through your stuff without a search warrant.
I think we should give him some Ativan and see if he loosens up a little bit. What do his writings have to say? I must beat back the urge to die, to let go of everything I hold dear or all that I love. Oh.
And you see how they jumped to the conclusion of, well, you know, you see how it was very fast. They said, automatically they said, this guy, I think we should do this right away. You know, I think we should give him some Ativan. You know, going through her stuff. Before she even sees this. Okay? She automatically jumped to the conclusion.
So sad. Well, certainly he must be very anxious, and a little Ativan might make him feel better. Even if
okay? And she says, oh, well, certainly he must be anxious. And but you see how quickly they drug people. You see how this is not a science. This is a joke. That wasn't even a 5-minute interview. That was, I'm coming to see this guy. Oh, well, you know, by the way he's acting, he needs this drug. Just like that. Okay? To truly get to the bottom of it, you'd have to have a lengthy series of sessions to see why this person is acting this way. What caused him? Did someone die in his life? Is he mad? You know, I'll tell you like this. I've come across countless people who talk to themselves who aren't mentally ill just as a result of being in an environment they don't want to be in. You know, you see this in the SHU, segregated housing unit, in isolation, in prison. People start talking to themselves because they're in an environment they don't want to be in. And there's no one that they can trust to talk to. Or there's no one they can talk to. So what was he doing? Let's go back and let's look at it carefully. What was he doing? And obviously it doesn't help that he was sad before he got there, which they're going to describe as clinical depression without a shred of evidence. Because there is no valid diagnostic test.
I hate this place. I've been here for 7 years.
First thing that strikes me is that the way he's dressed is his hair's cut pretty nice. He's dressed pretty nice. Very hard to believe that there's something wrong with this person. They can't be fixed easily without medication.
Nothing works here. The medications don't work.
What was he saying? Nothing works here. The medications don't work.
Can you hear me at all?
Nothing works here. Nothing works here.
Can you tell us anything else that might be helpful to you?
He was brought in for uncontrolled yelling. Uncontrolled yelling? And notice, even if this person's been there for a while, okay, she's not citing his past history or anything. She looked at the journal as if it was new, like it was news to her. You know, he's saying he hates the place. The medications don't work. He's traumatized at a place where the medications don't work. And because society doesn't understand him, because they aren't as insightful as I am, they jump to the drugs instead of addressing the root cause of his pain. And so to me, it is painfully obvious. I've been in the psych ward and I've seen countless healthy individuals do what he's doing. Because it's the normal human reaction when you're in a place where you feel isolated. Everyone there might as well be a fucking wall in an isolation cell because you can't talk to them. So you start going into your own little world. And then they say, well, you know, the symptoms of schizophrenia is being in your own little world because you're helping contribute to that mind state, that state of mind, which is a result of the environment. And uncontrolled yelling was why the police brought him in. That was the reason they gave. That was the reason that the documentary gave. Probably the police and the psych ward all agreed, yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, uncontrolled yelling. I want you to ask yourselves, since when is yelling ever controlled? And is there a single person on the planet who hasn't yelled when they were angry? The whole pretense for him being there is a joke. He's losing his fucking mind because he knows the system is a joke. And because he felt sad and didn't want to live anymore. You know, show me one person who's never felt sad in their life and contemplated killing them fucking selves. That is a normal human condition, especially when one is living in Babylon's system. Thank you. I would like to point out that he was saying to himself that he's been in that place for 7 years. Now, he hasn't been in that place for 7 years, but their inability to see what he was really saying. Okay, when you're on drugs, it kind of messes up your speech. It's like you end up trying to say things instead of saying them. What he was really getting at was that he's been doing it their way for 7 years. It says, in the past 7 years, doctors have tried Brian on Clozaril, Haldol, Thorazine, Risperdal, olanzapine, lithium, I missed one, Depakote, anafrenol, Tegretol,